First time ever in a comedy club, I won $50. I only went on a dare. I cried all the way from the comedy club to my house. The girl I was with named Gladys Jacobs said, "Why you crying? It ain't but $50. I said, no, you don't understand. I was born tonight. Well, I've been asking God my whole life, what's my purpose? I need to find something that I do. I won $50 first time in a comedy club. I went to work the next day, October 9th, and quit my job with $50 in my pocket. Married, twins, $50. My ex-wife said, "You can't do that. That's foolishness." Her mother told me, "You're not even funny." My mother told me, "Boy, you don't do stuff like that. You work like your daddy and your brothers." I said, "No, Mama, this is what I was born to do." And my mother was saved and, Sunday school teacher, so I believed everything my mama told me. But this one time I said, "Mama, I got to go try this." I said, "This is it for me." I said, "If I don't do this, what I'm gonna do?" She said, "You're gonna work like your daddy did. Your daddy worked hard." I said, "Okay, well, I just work hard, but I'm gonna go be something." The only person in my family that believed in me was my father. He said, "Boy, if you think you can make it, go ahead. Now, if you need some help, I'll give you 100 every now and then." And I've done nothing since that day except tell jokes. Now, I got in a lot of trouble. By the time I was 30, I was homeless. Because the first year in comedy, I only made $3,500. The next year, I made $5,000. The third year in comedy, I made $6,800. You get homeless real fast like that. So I was trying to make my little money and send it to my wife and kids, but it wasn't enough. So I would just keep $25, enough to stay out there and get to the next gig. And it didn't work for me for 3 years. I lived in my car. You have to take chances in life. If you want your life to be something special, you eventually have to take a chance. You can't do normal things and expect extraordinary results. It doesn't work that way. You have to take an exceptional chance one time. And it's gonna cost you something that you care deeply about. Bishop Jakes told me one time, he said, in order to get to the next level in life, you can see where you wanna go, but it's a glass ceiling. The reason you can see it is because it's a glass ceiling. In order to break through a glass ceiling, you're gonna have to shatter the glass. Anytime you shatter the glass, it's gonna be blood shed. And the blood that you shed is gonna be something that you care deeply about. So if you are not willing to shed something you care deeply about, you cannot go to the next level. Most people let their family keep them from going to the next level. Some people, your friends. Some people, it's your job, your position keeps you from going to the next level. But if you go to work every day and you ain't happy, if you don't wake up overjoyed to go to work, that ain't no life, man. You got the wrong job. And you know why you got the wrong job? Because you ain't living in your gift. You only find peace and happiness when you live in your gift, the thing God created you to be. If you don't ever do what God created you to be, man, you'll never be content. You'll be miserable. All the time I was miserable. For 27 years, misery. I couldn't figure it out until I won that money. I won $50. Just 50, but it changed my whole life. I made a lot more since that 50. But guess what? I still tell jokes. So all these is jokes. If I don't be nothing else, I'm gonna be funny. That's the deal, ain't it? If you hire me, you gonna get these jokes. Cause that's my gift. What you want me to do? They hired me to speak at this insurance company one time. All these bigwigs sitting there now. So I started telling jokes. The audience was dying laughing. This guy came up to me and said, "I hired you as a motivational speaker." I said, "That's what I do." "Well, what's the laughing for?" I said, "Because it holds people's attention." I said, "Go ask everybody what they got out of my message today. It ain't gonna be the jokes. It's gonna be something I told them." But you got people that they don't want to hear that, but that's my gift. And if you live in your gift, you'll find your completeness. Until you live in your gift, you cannot be complete. When God created you, he gave you all a gift. All of you in here are gifted. You are gifted people. What is your gift? Your gift is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. Once you identify that, your life changes. God takes you to new heights. You find peace, you find joy. You wake up in the morning, you can't wait to go to work. If you waking up in the morning and you hate going to work, it's because you ain't living in your gift. I don't even have an alarm. I wake up every day ready to go to work because guess what? I'm gonna go tell these jokes. They're gonna give me this check. Look what I'm doing. Look, that is available to you though. That God that created you has that same thing available to you. Every last one of you. I bet he do. I dare you to try it. I dare you. I mean, yeah, some people that I've met, man, that were like heroes to me. When I met Richard Pryor at the ABC Comedy Awards in '96, I was standing right in front of him at this table. And this lady said, "Steve, do you know who you're standing in front of?" I said, "No, who?" She said, "Turn around." I turned around, it was Richard Pryor. I bent over, I shook his hand. He said, "I heard a lot about you. Flynn told me. You're pretty funny." And this Richard Pryor couldn't even talk. I said, "I love you, man. Thank you," because he was the whole reason I got into comedy, you know. I got through talking with him. The ABC Comedy Awards was in this huge hangar they had decorated. I went behind the bar, I cried for 20 minutes. I couldn't even. It's Richard Pryor. Then this girl came back there and saw me and got me and said, "Richard wants you to call him sometime." I went to my seat and started calling that number from my seat. I got Richard Pryor's phone number, and I ended up forming a friendship with him before he died. I used to go by his house, play dominoes with him. That was a moment. When I met Muhammad Ali, that crushed me. Cried again. I ain't when I meet people that really matter to me, you know. Met Mike Tyson one time and just was scared. Wasn't a hero of mine, and then I was just scared of him. Well, same advice I give to my kids, man. If I could get them to understand the importance of their 20s. Because, man, you know what I did? I just blew my 20s. I ended up spending all of my 30s fixing what I messed up in my 30s. I spent all of my 40s doing what I could have been doing in my 30s. I looked up, man, I had let too much time slip away. If you could get young people to get their foot on the gas pedal in their 20s, because right now they think going out is everything. And I keep telling them, man, you're gonna outgrow that in a minute. Because, you know, like at this age, it's when somebody says, "Hey, we're gonna go out to a club tonight." What? Go out to a club? Are you kidding me? It don't make no sense to you now because you're over that. But it takes a minute for them to understand that, man. It's sad. I wish they'd get it. But I wasn't clubbing in my 20s. I didn't know how to make a vision board. I didn't know how to. What really changed my life, man, was I got in Amway when I was about 24. I got in Amway. And that changed my life, man, because the first time ever, they introduced me to self-help books. And I read 2 books that changed my life. It was The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale and The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. I read them books and it changed my life. But it also made me remember what my mother had taught me because she was a Sunday school teacher, because all self-help books are Bible-based. Everything comes from the Bible. All them self-help books, that's Proverbs. That's all it is. It's the book of wisdom and understanding. If you could read that, it'd change your life too. But sometimes you need, regular books where you can relate to it differently. But it's all comes from the Bible. It's like a great book is The Secret. But if you read The Secret, it's all Bible versed. I mean, it's just based on the Bible. You can't think of nothing new how to tell a person to succeed without the Bible. You can't. It doesn't work that way, So
All right, families, mask off, please.
a couple of books changed my life, man. But the magic of thinking big was huge for me. It just taught me one simple principle. It don't cost no more energy to think big than it does small. You can say Volkswagen and you can say Rolls Royce with the same amount of effort. You ain't got to grunt to say Rolls Royce. So if the Bible is true, which it says a man is as he thinketh, if you think poor thoughts, you got to be poor. The moment you change that thought into wealth or riches, you start the process to becoming wealthy or rich. It's not a magic trick. It's really how it works. People complicate it. You got to do this and you got to do that. But the Bible's pretty plain. They ain't got no loopholes in it. Really don't. It's just real simple. It say what it say. All you got to do is believe it's talking to you. That's what it is. Most people don't think that God is talking to them, that I come to give you life and give you life more abundantly. You don't think he talking to you? He'll give you life more abundantly. He do. He really will. You ain't got to be rich to have an abundant life. Sometimes you just need to be healthy, happy. You could be really happy, man, making $70,000 a year. You really, really can. You don't need a few million. I did, but you didn't need a few. It helped me a little bit. But to be honest, it didn't make me happy. It really didn't. Until need God to be happy. So I ain't no preacher, so we got ministers in the room, so I'm just telling y'all from a hood perspective what I did to get here. You can go to church and hear it, or take it from a dude that come out the bottom, ain't got nothing. Ain't gonna pass no offering tray. I don't really care. If you don't believe me, you ain't got to. But I made it. Don't ever give up. I don't care how dark it seemed for you. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop believing. And I know sometimes that's difficult because it seems like, man, it ain't going right at all. I was reading a book T.D. Jakes has out. It's called Hope for Every Moment. It's like one of those, you've seen those daily thought books. It's inspirational thoughts for every day of the year is what it is. My daughters actually gave it to me for my birthday because they've seen me change as a person over the years. I'm not guessing this, they've actually written it to me. And so they really do appreciate the change of me just becoming a better person, because when you become a better person not only for yourself, but a lot of people are affected by you being a better person. Your children are affected. Your wife is affected. Your coworkers are affected. A lot of your friends are affected. Your neighbors get affected. When you become a better person or start to make that change, it affects a lot of people. The biggest benefit of it all will probably be you. I know I've benefited the most. There are so many auxiliary benefits of just being a better person. And I've stopped saying trying to be a better person because I just got to go about the business of getting better. Now, doesn't mean that I'm mistake-free. That's not what that is. And it doesn't mean I don't still need encouragement and I won't fall and make a lot more mistakes, because I will. But I find, man, in these books that they give me, I find so many inspirational things. And this morning when I decided to say to everybody, don't ever give up, because I know how difficult it can be, because I do understand, man, that we will all face moments and challenges in our life that's going to require us to just hold on. I wanted to encourage everybody. In this book I read, it says, it didn't say it, but I'm paraphrasing it now. If you ever felt like you can't find him nowhere, you ever been in a hole so dark and a situation so bad, you just felt like, man, I just can't find him nowhere, or I can't find him where I thought he would be. I've actually felt that before. And I was thinking, man, okay, Steve, maybe a lot of people have been feeling that way. And maybe you ought to share your experience with them. And that's what I'm doing today. Maybe you've told yourself that the storm gonna be over soon. See, this is the one that I used to do all the time. I used to say, man, the storm gonna be over soon. And then the sun came out and then it just left. Okay, hold on, man. Then the sun came out and then it just left. And then the rains just keep coming. Sometimes, man, you just go, wow. And it almost feels like God done missed his appointment. Okay. See, this is why I used to really get in trouble. I used to think, man, okay, is he not listening to me? Does he not hear me?
because I'm not only calling, I'm actually crying. I'm crying out, and I want this to be fixed now. You know, I used to think, okay, man, I've been praying about this. I've been going through this. Okay, I done said I give. I done already said I get the message. I've done said I get the point. Man, I was wrong. Do I have to keep getting beat like this? Ain't I paid enough for my wrong decision? I used to just think like that. I figured he'd have moved on it by now. But what I want y'all to remember is that, and this is what I read in this book. In the book, it said that God doesn't synchronize his clock by your little mortal watch. God don't synchronize his clock by your little watch you got on your wrist. God is in control of this whole thing. He does not move in a timely basis according to what you got to have. Now, he gonna fix it for you. He gonna get it together for you. But it's in his time, because he doing a whole lot of shaping and moving. And what I had to learn about when I was praying for stuff was, it ain't just me that's affected. Remember at the top where I said when you become a better person, it affects everybody? Well, guess what? When God answers a prayer, it affects everybody. See, everybody got to learn lessons along the way. And maybe he got you going through a little bit more than what it looks like they going through, because he never puts more on you than you can bear. And so he puts you in a situation that you can handle. So what you got to do is, since God don't synchronize his clock by your little mortal watch, he got a set time that he gonna bless you. The key for you is to hold on. That's the key for you, is to hold on.
Okay, let me tell you this. I was gonna tell you this. The way to become a millionaire, if you could think of how to become a millionaire, you do it by Friday. You don't have to go that far. All you have to do is think of your God-given gift. All of you have the ability to make, you can charge, all of you can do something somebody will pay you $10 to do. I don't care if it's cutting grass, doing their hair, painting a wall, babysitting, taking care of the elderly, teaching, tutoring. Everybody can do something for $10. This is how I got to this place of success. My jokes were $25 a night. I made that for a long time. Whatever you do to make $10, this gift that God has given you at birth, because God never created a soul he didn't give a gift to. All of you have one. All of you have one. I don't care if it's frying chicken. Some of you fry chicken better than anybody else, bake pie, do hair, something. Do whatever it is for $10. After you make the $10, I want you to do it 10 more times. You'll now have $100. After you make $100, whatever you did to make the $100, that $10 idea, I want you to do it 10 more times. You're gonna have $1,000. Now, it's gonna get a little more difficult, but after you make $1,000, whatever you did to make the $1,000, I want you to do it 10 more times. You now have $10,000. Now we gotta focus now. Whatever you did to make $10,000 that started off with your $10 idea, what I want you to do is focus. I want you to do it 10 more times. You now have $100,000. Now, this is where it gets very, very difficult. You're gonna have to hire some people. You're gonna have to pay some people some money. But you take that $100,000 and you reinvest it. And what I want you to do is whatever you did to make the $10 that you did 100 times that turned into $100,000, all I want you to do is take that same idea. Don't change nothing. Do it 10 more times. I got news for you. You have just made $1 million. And all it was a $10 idea. You do not have to complicate this thing. You don't need an education to do this. You just need the principles of success. I'm telling you, man, I took these $25 jokes and I turned them into a lifestyle. You can take this God-given gift that he gave you and stop thinking of how to make $1 million. Just go make $10 and do everything 10 times as hard. Now, it's gonna be hard. Understand that. It's gonna be very hard. But you ain't got nothing else to do. Because let me tell you something about being not successful. Being not successful, that's really hard too. So you might as well apply yourself to something that has a benefit. I'm telling you, that's how you make $1 million. Quit tripping. Quit tripping. You have the way. God has already given it to you to make $10. All you got to do is do it in multiples. That's all anybody do. That's all. It's just 10 people got on Facebook, then 10 more people, then 10 more people, then 10 million got on. Now they got 100 million people on Facebook. No, but this dude making billions of dollars. It's the same thing. It's what it is. You have it in you. You just got to apply. And you got to believe that it can happen for you. All right, you ain't got to believe me. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm telling you. You know what you should do? Every time you get a chance to experience first class, you should do it because it plants a seed. It's like the next time you buy an airplane ticket, just ask for an upgrade. Pay a little extra money, fly first class. What it does is it conditions your mind. Once you get in first class and you see how wide the seats are, and you find out why they shut that curtain, see, because they shut that curtain because they can't let you see what's going on up there. They passing out hot nuts. Everybody get a washcloth. They got a menu. You get to decide what you want. All the drinks is free. Once you sit in first class one time, the next time you get on a plane, it's very difficult to walk past them seats. And then your mind starts thinking of ways to get back to first class. And guess what? That's what you start attracting to your life. And you start behaving and producing stuff to get you back into first class. That's how you move up. You just take, like buy you one really expensive outfit. Just see how it fits. That shit is high for a reason. Don't think they down there just putting prices on. Buy a really expensive pair of shoes, ladies. Buy a really expensive purse one time. Just go on down there, buy the real Louis Vuitton that ain't ever on sale. Louis Vuitton don't even have sales. Just get you one. When you carry it, it changes your life. It will then cause your mind to subconsciously produce thoughts to get another one. And next thing you know, you attract the thing you need to produce the outcome that you want. Life is all about the law of attraction. That's how you do it. Just try it.
The beginning of being anything is the dream. The beginning of being anything, it starts with a dream. One day, somebody had the dream of being able to fly like a bird. Well, today we have airplanes. Somebody had a dream of one day going into outer space. People go to the moon and they come back. People one day had dreams of being able to travel at high speeds, all types of things. It all starts with a dream. Martin Luther King had a dream that one day all of us could unite and come together. Well, it's happening. It hasn't fully happened, but it's happening. But it started with a dream. Those dreams are available to each and every one of us. So parents, if you have a child that says something that's beyond the realm of your thinking, don't make it not possible. So when your child says, I'm gonna be a star, and you don't really see the talent, they got something in them that you might not know about. They may have a dream and something burning inside of them that you don't know anything about. It all starts with a dream. The Bible says that a man without a dream or a vision shall perish. And that's so true. If you don't have nothing you're working for, nothing you're shooting for, you really have no focal point in life and you wander around aimlessly all the time. So all of you out there, whatever your dream is, and dream big. My father used to tell me all the time, he says, son, aim for the moon, because if you miss, you'll still be amongst the stars. The bigger you dream, the wider you let your mind fly, the more capable you become of accomplishing the thing. See, you've got to understand that it doesn't matter your financial circumstance. It doesn't matter what environment you live in. If you can see yourself out of the project, if you can see yourself outside the ghetto wall, if you can see yourself anywhere, then guess what? See it. See it and believe it to be so. That is the beginning of all things happening. It is your dream and your vision. And let me give you some advice. Don't share all your dreams with everybody, Because the moment you say something to somebody and they don't see it for you or themselves, they start telling you how it won't happen. Now you allow that into your mindset when all you was doing was wanting it to be so. And now guess what? Then comes the stumbling blocks, the hurdles, the pits in the road. And now you find yourself trying to understand what they were saying when all you really had to do was go on with your dream. So when I have dreams or ambitions, I only tell one person. I usually tell my wife. And after that, I don't really share it with a whole lot of people because I know that everybody ain't pulling for me, but I know she is. So I share with her what I'm thinking about becoming and doing and hoping for us and our family, and that's who I tell it to. I don't tell it to my friends, my boys. I don't tell it to my manager. I don't tell it to nobody because guess what? They got their own agendas too. Now, they don't see it for you because then that's going to get in the way of some plan they had for us and them, and now next thing you know, they working against that because they got another plan. So I don't really share it with people. I share it with my folk, and I share it with my God, and that's it. But do dream. If you can't think of what to dream, stop at a magazine stand or a bookstore and flip through magazines and see stuff that you'd like to have. See places that you'd like to go. Imagine things that you'd like to be. Sit down and close your eyes and imagine where you would like to be, because that is the beginning. It is the dream. There's a whole series of things you got to do to become successful, but just today, I'm just gonna stay on this one thing. Do not be afraid to dream. Do not be afraid to think that you can. And remember this, you ain't too old to have a dream. Anybody can dream. I don't care if you're 45, 55, 65. You can dream about something. It can still happen for you. And the younger you start dreaming, the better you get at dreaming. And when you get good at dreaming, then after a while, you're going to have to start making some of this stuff come true. And next thing you know, you're on your way. But it starts with a dream. So dream big, open up magazines, cut them cartoons and them sitcoms off and quit watching soap operas all day. And do something that'll stimulate your mind. The Travel Channel, the Discovery Channel, watch a cooking show. Just get into some other things, man. You never know what's inside you, and something may spark a flame that burns in you that you really didn't even know you had, but you got to open up your mind and let it fly. Dream on with your bad self, and don't let nobody tell you that you can't. And the best way to not have a person tell you you can't is to not tell them what you want in the first place. It's your dream. It really ain't got nothing to do with nobody else.